Welcome everybody, my name is Misty Chronexia, and this is something that is very different than my normal videos. In the past few years, a lot of focus has been put on digital entertainment. The fact that you are currently watching this YouTube video is proof of it. Most digital entertainment, however, is free, which is a lot easier to digest because you don't have to pay for it. And that has always been a keen motto of mine, to try to have as much free content as I can. And because of that mindset of mine, I'm pretty selective on the actual sponsorship that make their way on my channel. There is two things that I usually focus on. Is it something that will appeal to you guys? Is it also, as much as possible, something free? Thankfully, today's sponsor is both of those things. They're called Webtoons. Maybe you've heard of them before. They're a platform which is either on mobile or web browsers where you can read a crap load of comics, mangas, manhwas, whatever you want to call them. They have a huge library, over 400 if not 500 different titles. Now I'm gonna give you my genuine opinion of the platform. It might not seem like much, but there's a few features on it that I really like. First of all of the comics are in color. The other feature that I'm really fond of is the scrolling one. The scrolling feature is something that might seem inconspicuous on the surface, but it saves so much time in the long run. Every time you load one chapter, you can scroll through the whole chapter on one page. You just keep going down. As I was going through the platform, there is one comic in particular that caught my attention. It's called Let's Play. Let's Play is a romantic comedy with slice-of-life elements and drama to boot. The story follows Sam, an indie game developer who just launched her first game called Ruminate. One day, a YouTuber called Martial Law decided to play and review said game. His mediocre attempt left him with a dissatisfied taste and he gave it a bad review. His fan then proceeded to destroy the game Sam worked so hard into making. Now to make things worse, there's a new neighbor who moved next to Sam's place and it turns out it's Martial Law, the cause of all of her problems. Currently, the comic has 45 episodes out at the moment and I wanted to talk about them because I think this comic has a lot to offer. The good thing that I like, because I'm gonna start with the good stuff, is the comedy. It is absolutely on point, the delivery is exceptional, and because of the scrolling feature that I mentioned earlier, it has one joke in particular that just comes back to my mind. It is in episode 39. If you don't want any spoiler, just skip to this timestamp. I'm gonna avoid divulging the thing. It's not really a big spoiler, it's just one joke. Here's the joke, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why it works so well. So you see, it was my decision to participate in the duel. I brought this upon myself. Okay, but did they have to hit you so hard? They're even down here. Good grief. I don't think I've ever seen one this big before. This joke in particular is in episode 39. That's 39 chapters that you've read so far, and never before this moment is any fourth wall break. And the fact that the author actually does this, it makes the delivery so much better. With the scrolling feature, it is hilarious. Now, there's another key point that I think is really strong in the story, and it's the characters. Everyone has a backstory, everyone has a unique personality, and everyone has a growth path. The author does an impeccable job at making every character, even the bad ones, likable. Now, something that I really enjoy in the story is the psychological aspect. There is something that the author called the emotecoons, which are essentially the inner demons of the characters. Sam, the main girl character, she has a lot to deal with confrontation. She's not able to actually challenge people, and she also has a lot of self-esteem problem. Another character, which is another girl, she has a lot of fear to handle that turns into rage. And then my favorite one being Marshall, the main guy character. He has to deal with depression, and this comes off very slightly in the story, but it delivers quite a punch. I think it connects with me mostly because I'm a YouTuber as well, and having friends in the industry that also create their own content, it is very easy to get in the mindset of being depressed, because the job of being a YouTuber involves a lot of putting yourself out there and creating content every day with the newest one trying to always one-up the last one that you did. It is putting an extreme toll in your mental state, and it is something that you have to deal with. Furthermore, you also have to deal with a lot of comments, sometimes bad comments, and those, while you may create yourself a persona that is immune to all the bad stuff, everything eventually chips at you. And it's a little bit here, a little bit there, and then at some point you just start crumbling down on you yourself. It's not something that I have dealt with myself yet, but I can see how it would be easy for me to just start spiraling down. Thankfully, I do have a loving family that keeps me up to date, and I try to take care of my mental health as much as I can and help as many people as I can as well. And now I'm gonna bring back the mood with the final good points that I would like to talk about is the theming. The story is a mix of YouTube, gaming, and nerdy stuff. It has a synergy that just goes so well together. Plus, the fact that all the characters are like in their 20 plus, it makes the aspect of talking about sexuality kind of richer, because you don't have teenagers who are just like awkward. You have adults who are awkward. But not every character is like Sam with no experience. Some of them actually date for some time, and then you have to see some insight into their life. It is something that I really appreciate, and for a story, I think it's something a lot of people just lack when it comes to writing. Now, overall, this is all the good stuff that I really enjoy. However, as I said earlier, I want to also point out some stuff that I didn't like. It's not a big deal, just something that I think should be brought up. There is a lot of characters, and the problem is, as I said earlier, every character is rich, and I don't see anyone that I would willingly toss out, because every character is fun in their own way. The problem is, the more character you add to the story, the more everyone kind of want to get a little bit of screen time. I call this the Bleach corollary, where you keep adding characters, and then some fans get attached to one character and they want to see some screen time with said persona. And the thing is, you have a very limited amount of panels in your chapter, so you have to start putting characters here and there, and sometimes it doesn't always put the context it deserves to. I think it has a nice balance so far, but I feel like if we keep adding people, it's gonna start tumbling down like a Jenga tower. And finally, the last point that I want to complain about, it's not really a complaint, but it's the fanservice. The guys are often shirtless, and they are ripped AF. Now, I'm a YouTuber, and Marshall's a YouTuber, and he does cardio, which I respect because it's not always the time to do cardio, but he has a rocking bod with a six-pack and nipples of steel. My dude, you put 2 videos out a day. Where do you find the time to go to the gym? Same thing with Link. The guy works in a cafe and he moonlights as a paramedic. He has a chiseled body. How do you do it, man? Do you take supplements? The point is, why isn't there girl fan service in it? There's a guy reading the story, I'm sure. I'm sure the audience is not purely chicks. Can I get some side boobs? Maybe? A cleavage? Anything like a butt in a decent angle? Because the best we've seen so far is like yoga pants and a shadow in the shower curtain. So if the author of this story, can you hook me up with something just a little bit, like an angle, anything. But yeah, this is my review. It might not be much, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope that you guys can actually pick up the story. It's awesome, and I dare you to not get hooked when reading. Like, take 5 minutes, try to go as many content as you can, and if you get to the butt plugs, lube, and ball gags and you're not actually hooked in the story, I'm surprised you even enjoy my videos. But this is the cliffhanger I'm gonna leave you on, and also my homework. Try to read it. It's really fun. I want to thank Webtoon for the opportunity of letting me review one of their titles. It's not every day that I get a chance to do a proper review, and it's something that has been kind of missing to me, so I wanted to give it another go and see if you guys would be into that. If you want to get your read on, check out the link in the description. There's the app that I highly recommend. It is super smooth and it goes really well whenever you're on the go. If you want to read it on your browser, links is also there as well. Thank you so much for your time. Have a fun read, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Through the hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.